Welcome along, everyone, to another edition of Weekend Winners. We go harness racing on Saturday night at Albion Park with 9 races. Our first race getting underway at 5:37. Hopefully, we can steer you into a few winners this weekend with this edition, because we are going to catch up with Talia McMullen, Brittany Graham and Adam Richardson. All three drivers have some really good chances on paper for this Saturday night. So we'll catch up with all three drivers and hopefully find a winner or two for this card of racing. Brittany Graham with a good book of drives on Saturday night. You chime in nice and late on Saturday night. You missed the first 4 races, Brittany. We start with Platinum Roulette in race 5. Backing up after winning on Thursday. There was a lot to like about that win on Thursday. He did it the hard way.
Yeah, he was really good, actually. We were just sort of hoping that maybe he could run a place because, like all of us, looked as though it was going to be too hard to beat. But I was quite confident on the home corner because he was travelling really good, and he's the sort of horse that tends to find a little bit in the straight as well. So the earplugs didn't come out on Thursday, so hopefully with them coming out we might have a little bit more up our sleeve Saturday night.
Barrier 2 looks ideal, just be able to land a nice handy spot.
Yeah, he's a horse that races best on speed, and he likes a 2100, but he has been getting better with the mile racing here as well. So we'll try and hold as forward as a position as we can, because that's where he tends to run his best races. So fingers crossed from that 2 draw. If we could get across to the fence, he's probably half a little chance there as well.
Okay, Platinum Roulette going really well. That's race 5, horse 2. Race 6, the mare's race. Stevie D flying this mare. Tricky draw though, the inside of the second row.
Yes, you just can't get a draw at the moment, Stevie D. When you sort of see 8, it probably looks better numerically than what she has been getting of late, but then she's probably drawn behind a horse that's not sort of racing up to par at the moment. So it makes it a little bit hard, and these mares races are so competitive at the moment. It's, probably based upon the national rating system is how they're drawing it. So if she gets the splits to go her way, as you mentioned, she's flying, and I think it's probably a plus that she has a helmet to follow at the start, because she can get a little bit keen as well. So she should settle, and then if the gaps go her way, then she'll be right around the money.
All right, race 8, another race for the mares. Lura lands gate 1, and she's getting close. The last start 4th was a good run.
Yeah, she's a bit of a tricky little mare as well. Sometimes over the 2100 metres she doesn't race at her best, but then sometimes she surprises us as well. So the last time I drove her here at Albion Park when she won, she came from an impossible position on that occasion. She got past Elmer Joy, and that mare's racing really well also. So she comes up with the right sort of draw. We can do no work early, just try and hold a position. And I mean, it's a strong race. Again, the mares are really strong here at the moment, but she's racing well enough that if they go solid without going too fast for her, she'll be around the money.
Are we saving the best for last with Mafuta Vorton? Now prepared by your sister Steph. Draws gate 2, massive class drop, coming back from open company last week. He looks, a real live chance here.
I'm feeling the pressure too. Don't worry about that. Steph has got a few that she's training again now, and this is her favourite horse. He always has been. So she was very excited when Mum handed the reins over to her. So, no, it is a little bit of a pressure drive, and he's a horse. He again can be a little bit funny. Sometimes he races really, really well, as he did here last Tuesday or Thursday. Yeah. I think it was last Tuesday. He was super over the 2100 metres, and then that last half last week, he's probably spent all his coins down the back straight trying to keep up, and then he just got a little bit tired late. But back to the mile is a big tick for him. I've driven him here, and we've gone 52.9 here over the mile a little while ago now. So he has the gate speed. Obviously, Tennyson Bromack is racing in unreal form, so it's going to be hard to beat him. But on his merits, if he's at his best and he gets to the front and he settles, then I think he'll be around the mark again.
Well, if he can go 52.9, that would be good enough to win this race, I'm tipping.
Definitely, yeah. So, but then again, Tennyson Bromack's been sitting parked in 153. So if there's any chinks in his armour, he's going to be really hard to beat. But yeah, Mafuta Vorton, there's 2 of him. Sometimes he's really good, and sometimes he can be a little bit hard to catch. So hopefully the right one turns up on Saturday.
Do we label him as your best drive though on Saturday night?
I think so. I think, as I mentioned, if he brings his best, and if he makes his way to the front without having to do too much work, he'll be hard to beat. But then again, Platinum Roulette, he really surprised me today. So if he can recreate that performance a couple of days later, then he'll be right around the mark again.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Talia McMullen is about to join us to go through her book of drives for Saturday night. And on paper, there's a number of key chances for her, and we're about to find out more about them because she's about to go through them and profile them with us. Talia, welcome along. Let's start with Midnight Bender, your first drive Saturday night. Looks a tough gate on paper, the outside of the second row, but this is a race that he could be more than competitive in.
Yeah, definitely. It's probably the easiest race he's actually been in for a while, and 21 doesn't necessarily suit him as much as the mile, but he's been racing well and he tries hard every week, and he's probably yet to reach 100% fitness from his spell. And but yeah, he hopefully with a bit of luck on his side, he'll be right there at the finish.
The Marburg effort 2 runs ago, really good, and that's probably the best indicator for this race.
Yeah, definitely. He was second behind Charming Major, and he's gone on to race really well, so that was a really good run, yep.
Okay, well, that's Midnight Bender, race 3, the Marburg to Albion final. Better watch him as your driver. He's drawn gate 9, 2 off the second row. He was beaten as favourite in his heat last week, but the run was really good, and most are expecting a lot more improvement to come this week.
Yeah, definitely. He was first up in a while, and I think he'll have a bit of improvement off of that, and he got held up a little in his heat, and I think the draw works out quite well for him. He should get a good run through at the start, and with the right trip, then I think he'll be too good for them.
Okay, a good chance there, better watch him. Race 4, good chance here, Sean Trey. Tough pacer, he's a go-forward horse, and he draws gate 2. How do you assess this race?
Yeah, it's a bit tricky. Hopefully we have a bit more speed than the one, and hopefully we find the front, and I guess from there we can see what we want to do. But he definitely runs his best races in front, and he's a tough horse, and he just keeps on going, and that's how he likes it. He likes to be out in front rolling along, and he's usually too good for him when he finds that spot.
Well, this is an important race for the start here, because Italian Delight first up showed speed in his trial, and then you've got Watch Pulp Fiction on your immediate outside, and he's a last start winner when leading, so there's going to be early pressure.
Yeah, definitely. The one is first up in Queensland, so it's a little unsure how it's, what it's going to do, especially in this free-for-all race. But and Watch Pulp Fiction has been racing really well as well. So I guess we'll just have to see what happens when we're out there, and don't make too many plans and just run a race how he needs to be raced. Okay,
that's a good race. The Open, race 4. Race 5, I'm a Top Tycoon. He's very close, but he's got a tricky draw here, gate 6, and there's some in-form runners drawn to your inside. How does this play out?
Yeah, he's been really good in the band 5s lately, and the horses that have been beating him have been super, like Tommy Gunn, and he's now off to America. So he's honestly improved so much from Ryan since Ryan has first had him, and it's a real credit to Ryan what he's done with the horse, because a year ago you definitely wouldn't have thought he would have been racing on a Saturday night as competitively as what he is. But the draw's a little tricky. There's a lot of speed inside of him, but he's so versatile that he can, be up front running along or go back to last and still get home good.
The Dixon runners, they've got really good chances. Classy American and Cruisy Dude, they've got good winning recent form. They look the toughest to beat.
Definitely. They've got better draws as well, and if they're up the front, and it makes it a bit hard to be back in the field, but he's probably one horse that can do it. A few starts ago I drove him and he came 4th from last, so that was a super run, and yeah, it's pretty incredible that the high speed he has.
Last race, Whedon's Express. He's probably struggling on paper with form, and he meets a strong field here. Is he a knockout hope?
Yeah, he's a bit of a funny horse. He was racing really well. His last couple starts were probably a little bit disappointing. But in saying that, if he gets the right run, then you never know. And he seems to be able to follow any speed, really. And he prefers racing on a Saturday night, and he actually likes, when they are putting a bit of pace on up front, and he can sit off of it a little bit. So as long as he gets a good run, then he should be right there, and he does have gate speed, so hopefully he can get into the race.
All right, some good chances. In your opinion, what's the pick of your drives?
Probably Chantre. He's got the best straw, and he's a tough horse, and I think, he's the best chance. He's, a really top horse, and up there, one of the best I've driven, so hopefully he goes close Saturday.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Adam Richardson now drives us. He's got the 4 drives on Saturday night, and we start with race 2, Albu Shimi. Adam, he draws gate 6. Last week he had gate 1. He just missed. It's obviously going to be a little bit tricky from the draw, but he's going well enough to score here.
Yeah, last week's run was really good. I think they went 52 and a bit. and he's only just got beat. He's not a horse that's blessed with gate speed, so it'll just be, try and get a posse and see where we can finish.
It looks a lot easier than last week.
Oh, it does for sure, yeah. Last week he just was blessed with that draw. This week we're a bit wider, so I'll just have to play it by ear and see where we land.
Okay. Give me 50 in the Marburg to Albion final. He was good taking out his heat earlier in the week. Can he go back-to-back and take the final?
Well, I think so. Same thing, sort of, it's just going to be where we end up. We'll just look for a posse and come late. But the horse has been racing really well, so it's a good chance if we get a bit of luck.
It's a competitive field, though.
Very competitive field. They always are, these Marburg to Albion finals. And, with the horses there, they're all pretty level.
Okay, race 4, the free-for-all. Northview Hustler. First time you've sat behind this guy, but I'm sure you're looking forward to the opportunity to drive a quality pacer.
Oh, for sure, Chris. It's a great opportunity. He's a quality horse, and hopefully there's some fireworks early and they keep running along and it'll suit him really well.
There has to be fireworks, doesn't there? Italian Delight showed speed in the trial. Chantre go forward. Watch Pulp Fiction led last time out. There's got to be some early fireworks.
I think so. They're all pretty handy leaders, and I think they'll all be wanting the lead. Over the trip, just depends which one gives in first, I think.
And that's the other thing in your favour, the trip. 2,100 metres looks ideal.
It does, for sure. And, he's got a real good turn of foot, so hopefully we land somewhere up handy and see how we go.
All right, great chance there. And then across to race 8, the mare's race. Get Out and Walk. She possesses great gate speed. You've got a very good rapport with this mare, but it looks a little tricky.
It does look a little tricky. She, I think it'll be another one where we'll just try and find a posse, and she does hit the line good if she gets a helmet right up to the straight. And, if we get a good card into it, she's half a chance there too.
Okay, 4 drives. What's the pick of them?
Oh, I'd have to say Northview Hustler. I think, with the tempo of the race, it should be pretty strong, and he finishes the race as well.
We'll take the tip. Good luck.
Thank you.
Looking for the best bet on Saturday night? I'm looking for a bit of value, and I'm coming up with race 7, horse 6, 4 shares more beers, lining up in the trot. But I liked its last start winning performance, took care of Greg the Great. Greg the Great has franked the form with a victory since, and I think starting off the 10 metres, he's going to get a nice run through at the start. Grant Dixon has opted for Miracle Arising, but he loses nothing with the services of Kylie Rasmussen. So each way, I think he'll run a cracker. Race 7, number 6, 4 shares more beers. Good luck and good punting on Saturday night.